what's up, people? What's going on?
Hello.
What's up?
I know.
Back again. This is episode 98.
Oh,
no,
wow.
99.
Oh my God.
Episode 99, guys.
What you doing for the 100th?
We got some stuff. Oh my God.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's your boy Sean, Mr. NJ Brick City.
Just here.
I don't have a name. I was thinking about this in the car. I'm gonna say AJ. I don't even like AJ, but I'm gonna say AJ.
You gonna say AJ? It's Ashley, guys. It's Ashley.
My initials are AJ.
I know, but they don't. I mean, they might not know that. It's Ashley. She been on here.
I'm anonymous, AJ.
Anonymous.
Winston.
Bruh, don't do that. Don't nobody call you Winston.
Yes, they do.
Is that your middle name?
No.
Oh.
His middle name is Cephas.
Nah, bro. Don't say that, dog.
Speaking of Cephas, shout out to Michael Cephas. That's my
Yeah,
man.
I haven't heard from him in a while.
Oh, MC?
Yeah, he alright, man. You know.
Cephas.
Yeah, he alright. Good job. But we're blessed again with Ashley's presence. You know, it's always nice when she's around. She's dope. Always got some, dope shit to say. She hell at work, but
Because I have to try. I be just try to get through it.
I see that. Like.
So I talk shit to everybody.
It's funny though, because every time I see you, like, hey guys, I'm like, hey, what's up? Like, what you doing? Why you wandering? I'm like, I ain't gonna ask no questions. I'm just gonna let you wander around the airport. So
That's why you have it.
oh, okay. Look, that's what's up. Shout out to everybody who isn't here. Josh.
I'm up in the sky.
I think Joe might be showing up a little bit later.
Possibly.
Hopefully. I don't know where Terrell's at. Like, I ain't seen him in a minute. I don't know where he's at. So
I don't know either.
I think he gets off work late.
probably.
He might.
Yeah, so I mean, if he shows up, that'd be cool. But shout out to them. I guess you get to start off how your week was. That's always nice, because usually a guy starts it off and it's like, yeah, son, ain't do shit, blah blah blah, hoes, blah blah blah, blowjobs, whatever he's talking about at that moment.
And that sounds like something you would say.
Blah.
Exactly. So but we actually get to hear about a week. So what's up?
This week has actually been pretty lackadaisical.
Ooh, words.
I've been chilling, working, trying to stay focused. Washed my hair today finally after 3 weeks. So.
Oh my goodness.
Right, I'm so happy. I hadn't combed it in 3 weeks either. Don't judge me.
Oh my Lord.
Natural, honey.
Yes.
Tea natural.
Just roughing it, huh?
I mean, it still look good, so.
Look, I'm not mad.
But yeah, it's been cool. No dates to speak of.
Ooh.
I've been in the house.
You knew I was gonna ask you too.
Yeah.
I usually, I care a little bit about
No
what's
dates
going
to
on with
speak
you.
of. Next weekend will be a fun weekend, but this weekend, chilling.
Okay. Got anywhere important that you going?
I'll be here, but the main is coming, and
Ooh.
we're going kayaking. And, would you not?
I mean, look, it was either gonna be him or me.
We're kayaking, and
You know how I am.
it's been about 2 months since we've seen each other, so
Oh, wow.
Oh,
How long?
2 months.
you pent up.
I'm done.
You backed up.
I'm not.
He won't tell. You like, damn. Okay.
Moving forward.
Right.
So yeah, so that's pretty much
Somebody
it,
has to
guys.
be ignorant.
Yeah, somebody gotta be a judge today. Someone got a judge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's pretty much it.
So what's up?
Got some interesting topics to talk about.
I'm definitely ready to hear them. White bullshit. What's up? Ashley, how was your week?
It's been a little trying. People have been trying me this week, but you know what?
You.
But you know what? I don't even entertain them.
Jesus.
I don't even entertain
Yeah,
them.
she was.
Lord,
I was
they-
about
to say, it took
Like, where's the piano?
It took Jesus, his 12 disciples, and Mary
Right.
Magdalene to hold her back.
But I'm actually doing really good because I can't go off, but I haven't been doing good, and thank you, Lord. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh wow, that's really okay.
So, and I just got my wisdom teeth. I'm glad that I'm eating this week because I haven't been eating for 2 weeks.
Was yours already like fully grown in?
Yes, and they had to take my molar out as well.
See,
I know. Look,
So
I know how you.
I don't want to go do it. I need to.
girl,
Me too, actually.
Well, I mean, I don't know if
You gotta do it.
But I do have a dentist.
I have no pain.
I just don't want to have to go without eating, man. I'd be hungry.
You can still eat.
You can eat oatmeal.
You just don't want to get dry socket. You don't want nothing in there. I was
like
let me
yogurt?
just be cautious.
Eat some applesauce.
Yeah.
But during Cinco de
Soup.
Mayo, I had potatoes with some salsa on it, and it was nasty.
Yeah, that sounds terrible. Well, you.
Wait.
I'm like, your mouth is full.
Potatoes with some sauce.
Salsa.
Oh, I was about to
For-
say, dog.
That was my
Salsa.
It was terrible. I'm tired of mashed potatoes now.
I mean, you should be good though. I mean, usually you're good in about 2 or 3 weeks. So.
Oh God.
No. I mean, you can. No, I probably this. You can go back to eating solid food like after a couple of
You
days.
just have to be careful.
You gotta be real careful. Just make sure you clean it out.
Gotta
But
eat that
other than that,
curry.
you'll be fine. And like I said, like the dentist I went to, they're over there off of Heckle Boulevard, right behind McDonald's. Black owned, very nice, very professional. So they got everything situated until they was pulling my shit out, and I just heard it.
Oh, shit.
And
Yo.
I was sedated.
Yo.
I'm gonna have to be
they
sedated.
they know me.
I'm gonna have to be sedated. I will
It was-
pay extra for the sedation.
All I heard was, I was like, "What the fuck,
Nah,
Bro.
bro. All I see is them fucking.
I had to go get a
Pull up
filling
my fucking
once,
teeth
and
right
they
there.
were like they put the needle like in my gums,
Oh,
and
the
I
Novocaine?
was like, oh God,
Yeah,
like,
see,
Like,
look, that Novocaine feel weird as shit. Like,
it
you're
numbs
just
you,
going
but you
into
can
it.
still
Like-
feel the vibrations of
Yeah,
everything.
Right,
It's
that's
weird.
just the worst thing.
Yeah.
You know what I hated about it? It felt like my lips were swollen, but they never were.
And he's like,
So I'm just out here like, well, I think so about punching in the mouth. And she was like, baby, nobody hit you in the mouth. Like, you're good. I was like, my lips are swollen though. Like, I can't kiss nobody with these lips. Like, that's just, she like.
I'd have been like, I mean, you black, so you look natural.
But they were just regular. That's the sad part. But they
I know it
felt
feels
swollen.
heavy.
They felt so heavy. I
feels
was
like
like,
rubber. And you gotta be real careful when you eat because
yeah,
you could bite yourself and you won't.
I
feel
did.
it.
Mm-hmm. You gotta wait 2 hours afterwards.
I did. And
2
then-
hours?
That's what they said.
How long you supposed to wait? How long?
You gotta
How
wait.
soon can you eat before you go? Like,
What are you talking about for the wisdom teeth?
yeah.
Oh, you can't eat like for 8 hours
You can't eat
beforehand.
that night, yeah.
Mhm.
So you might as well wake up.
And they gave me some Valium. Shout out to that Valium.
Yo, that Valium had you feel
That
so groovy.
Floating like this.
Yes. Life is just like, I don't care. I feel great.
They don't put me on no drugs.
I don't need. I'm about to say I don't need value for that. Sex and a good meal will do me just fine.
What kind of dentist are you trying to go to?
I'm just saying that's how I need to feel. Like I don't give a fuck.
Well, I'm definitely afraid of this.
Like, wait,
I'm
what?
about to put this needle inside your mouth, girl.
Like,
You
what?
know it's rather small.
He's like,
Right.
it's not the size of it, it's how you use it. He's like, alright, bro, what porno?
That's how
you
little
watching?"
dick niggas talk.
He's like, why?
Why?
I don't know. So back to Ashley and her week. I feel like we really took a tangent. My
No, I
bad.
mean it's just been like trying, but you know what? I'm almost done with this week, so gotta keep on pushing.
God bless.
Amen.
Yeah, man.
Keep on pushing.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
You already know. I've been good this week. What have I been doing? Pretty much I've been working on my car. I've been
Is that your Jamaican accent?
no. Anyway.
Shout out to my boo Shanique. That's my boo.
I just been working on my car. I haven't been really doing much. Took it to the shop today. Accident, like I have an exhaust leak and I hate that shit. I just bought the part and
I was about
started
to
broken.
say, didn't you just
I know it's like
is it a modified exhaust, right?
yeah, it's modified, but
That's
the
probably
thing is,
why.
part of it is whistling, so it sounds weird. So I took it to the shop and had them, approve it or whatever, and they said they got something they got to fix. And then they had an open house, so I got to see lots of different types of cars that they were working on. It was nice. So, like, it's all kinds of sports cars, exotic cars there. So, my bad.
He got
Sorry,
excited.
bro.
Yeah, he got really excited about my car.
Sports cars and exotic cars.
Bro, what's wrong with you?
Is that from Beavis
Yeah.
and
What is it?
I hated that
Wait a
show.
minute.
Nah.
They used to come on after King of the Hill, right?
Oh,
Oh my god.
I would fall asleep on that show.
I'm caught. Don Williams.
oh, okay.
Oh my god.
But it was fun, you know. Shout out to Soho. You know, they sponsor a lot of things and events here in Charlotte. Actually, we had a lot of people from different like states out over there, so it was kind of cool.
Wait, over where?
Like where it was like in where I live in Monroe. It was like this is like a car shop where they work on cars and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, they had a lot. Man, I saw stuff for like people that put 900 horsepower in a regular car and shit like that. I was like, damn.
Why?
Like, it was all the way. He lives in like Detroit or some shit, and he shipped it all the way over there just to get it worked on here. So I was like, damn, that's kind of cool. You know, I saw different kinds of stuff. So I met a lot of cool people. They gave me a free T-shirt. I'm happy with that.
Shout out to that barbecue place in Monroe. I'm sorry.
Barbie?
That
Barbecue.
was so
Oh, so you said Barbie.
What's the name of it?
The Smoke Pit. So
Yeah.
good.
Oh, I've heard about that.
It's in Monroe. It's
Oh, I
so
heard
good.
that.
That shit slap.
You say it's where?
In Monroe.
I was waiting for you to ask one more time so she could say it one more time.
Of course, you know where that is.
That thing.
What you trying to say, bro?
Because she used to work at Office Max.
Oh, what was I about to say, bro? Don't be a jerk.
Nah, because it's like she used to work for Office Max, so she probably watched it all the time. It's good. I know.
Yes. Amazing. Amazing.
She said it's slap. It's slap.
You been there?
My brother said the pork is good. You know, I don't do no pork.
You know, fuck
I had
with
chicken
that
wings.
swine.
She don't fuck with that.
My brother used to work in a factory where they process pigs.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez.
And he was like, nah, bruh. Never again.
So, this pulled pork that I have at the house that I
Oh,
just made.
shit.
Just saying.
You about to eat that shit,
I'm
though.
about to fuck that shit up.
Hell no, man.
Hey, man.
I love pulled pork. Whatever. Don't judge me.
I'm not judging you, dog.
What else you got?
Nah, I'm
anything
good.
else?
I'm good.
My week was pretty okay actually. A lot of soul searching, things of that nature. I know one thing that I'm definitely about to do. Get into therapy. Definitely need that. I got a lot going on in this mind of mine. And I gotta talk to somebody about it. I got things that I need to go back and figure out. Things that might have been traumatic that I just never even paid any attention. Plus, just the way that I grew up, you know, growing up in New Jersey, you know, you hear gunshots all the time, people getting stabbed, shot around you, drug dealers fighting and all that. I don't think that's a normal way for anybody to grow up. And I was just okay with it, you know, like, I thought it was okay to just, you know, go to school and, you know, see teachers get stomped out and shit like that, and, you know.
Human beings adapt.
Yeah, so, you know, it's just, I just suffer from a lot of things that, you know, like,
That's crazy.
depression and things like that. I just gotta do better, you know, I'm trying to be a better person. It's like Oz, you know, with him talking about his car, it's like, you got, you know, there's a problem, you get under the hood and you fix it. I need to do that with myself, you know.
You can't get under your own hood.
I can, soul searching. That's how you do it.
Okay.
You step out, you know, you gotta step out of yourself sometimes. Look back and like, you know what, I could have did this differently, or maybe I could do this way, or I didn't have to do that. So, or you be like, I could do more of whatever it is. So, I know with me, I'm definitely trying to do that. Me and the missus, we try to, you know, figure things out as far as helping each other progress in a healthy relationship, communicating with each other in a way that, you know, is definitely healthy. You know, nonviolent communication, things of that nature. So, yeah, that's pretty much been, you know, my week as far as that. Work is work. I can't say much about that shit. I bought a Surface.
Oh, yeah.
I got a Surface tablet, so I got that in. That shit, that shit slap. I'm about to, the first thing I did.
About to watch porn.
I'm about to say, do you watch a lot of porn on it? Is that what you do?
Oh, that porn.
Wait, there's another site where you can go on and you can like search like what's the most popular type of porn looked up in like Japan or America, and it tells you what it is. People are fucking weird. Just so we're clear.
What's the name of this? What's the name of this?
I think I gotta look at my history. I gotta look at my history. But I go to that. I go to that one just to see what other people are looking at. Like you can look at what is the most looked at porn in Alabama currently. That was an interesting one.
Sister fucking.
So that,
right, probably.
Look up to Virginia.
That's the shit that I be looking at.
Look at what's Virginia for Josh.
Cousin
So
fucking.
yeah, I use that one for research.
I'm
That's what I'm saying.
fuck on my cousin.
Oh, Joe outside, Joe.
Oh, okay. Oh, good. So now we don't have to worry about just ending off our week like that. But, but no, I mean, at the end of the day, when it came to my week, it has its ups and downs, but I think I'm enjoying the ride a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Especially in this relationship. Like, for the people that have seen me in this, they know I'm going all in. And I guess y'all see something that y'all aren't used to seeing from me. Mm-hmm. So, when y'all see some shit going on, y'all be like, all right, what's really going on with you and this and that? And I guess people just root for us. So, I do appreciate it. I appreciate it. Like, actually, you the reason that we together. So, you stupid. But nah, man. Like I said, it's I love the journey, so I'm cool with it. Like I said, I got the Surface.
Just scratching the surface, G.
Definitely just scratching the surface.
Did you get with that 1.9?
What's that? Oh, you talking about the Rays? I guess I did. I don't know. It sounds like it's trash. I did hear something that we supposed to get some money
in June.
Is it June?
Yeah, that's what it said. June 3rd.
For the
back pay.
Oh, some more of it?
I never got it.
Yeah, that's all.
Well, I was talking about as far as that lawsuit.
Oh shit, I didn't do that one. I thought they already paid people for that.
No, not yet.
Chillin'.
What's up? Go ahead and get a chair, G.
Ashley doing good? Chillin', doing good. What's up? How you seeing?
What's going on? Joe just walked in. We about to
Joe Schmo.
Joe
go get a chair real quick so he can get himself properly acclimated. But nah, it was supposed to be for the lawsuit that they did, so we supposed to get.
Who got sued?
Yeah. When we went through our government shutdown.
Oh, okay.
It was a lawsuit that's on and pending. We won it, so we'll be getting. I think they said like 3 weeks pay or some shit. I don't know, something like that.
I'm ready for it.
Hopefully you just do it.
Oh, 3 weeks pay, what?
But yeah.
3 weeks back pay?
Something like that.
If you.
Well, no, not back pay. I don't know what it is. Just restitution.
Can y'all?
Oh, like a lawsuit type of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Can you hand this mic to Joe, please?
Thanks. 10-4.
It's not hard. Damn, Joe. Now it's on, Joe. Shit. And we're
Now it's good?
Yeah, we're good. Yeah. We're going through
10-5.
we're going through our our weekly shit. How was your week, man?
Oh, me? Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all on there?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know.
He just came from work.
Okay, you know what?
Fast.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that.
I'm traumatized. The week was good, I was chilling. It was a good week, just acclimating and everything, so nothing to really say.
Baby still good? You still out here chilling?
Chilling. You got a lot of toys this week. Like to get them more active. Set them like the little chair, the puppo.
Nice.
Oh, the little circle one.
They set up and then they play. Like the more he's out and active, the better he's gonna sleep at night. That's very important.
Okay.
And then this Dr. Sebi's formula we started in the morning is going well. He likes that a lot. So other than that, everything's regular.
Okay. That's what's up. So I don't know what was on your list of talking, points and things of that nature. Have at it, kid. Because you seem like you got something that's
I have two things.
that you itching to say.
I feel it.
I have two things. Have you guys seen the abortion laws that have been happening?
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Exactly what I
Wait,
was
was
talking
it-
about
Yes.
today.
Was it in Alabama or some shit?
So, Georgia,
Oh.
they, for those who don't know, they changed their laws to not being able to have an abortion after the baby gets a heartbeat, which is at about 6 weeks. Now, this is interesting because most women don't know that they're pregnant until about their 6th week, unless they're like actively watching, and then you can maybe tell it about the 5th week.
Yeah.
Also, in the state of Georgia, currently, well, I don't know if they're going to change this, but currently both these laws are enacted where in order to get an abortion, you have to get an ultrasound. So they have to be able to see that there's a baby on the ultrasound, and they used to have to be able to hear a heartbeat as well before you could get an abortion.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially what they've done is close the window to when women in Georgia could get an abortion if that's what they wanted to do until about a week. So you have that 5th week to like do what you need to do, basically. That's Georgia. Alabama, however, was like, fuck all of that. Y'all bitches ain't never getting an abortion ever. Ain't no clause for an abortion, ain't no clause for incest.
Ain't no
There's
kid
no
in
clause
Alabama, dog.
whatsoever. You just can't have one. On top of that, in the case of rape, because you have to usually like Georgia, if they make a case for rape or incest, but Alabama also is working on or has passed the law that if a rape victim takes his or her trial to court and loses, the state has an option to bring charges against the accuser for false accusations.
Wait, stop. Hold on.
No, seriously.
Hold on.
Hold on, repeat that one more time.
So if the rape accuser,
Okay.
she goes forward and they go to trial and they lose the trial against whoever the supposed perpetrator is.
Whether he's guilty or not.
If they lose the trial, then he's been proven innocent in court, technically.
Possibly could have done it.
Possibly could have done it, but proven innocent.
Okay.
If he's proven innocent, then the state has an option to bring charges against the accuser.
That sounds fair.
I disagree. So there's that.
It's in law.
And
Georgia
Georgia also says that you can't leave the state to get an abortion. If you do, then you would be considered like it's conspiracy to commit murder and all kinds of shit. So you're looking at real felony time.
I would like. How would they know? Are they gonna have a database?
I don't goddamn know.
Your surveillance device, your phone.
Uh,
Otherwise known as your phone.
Fuck you going, dog.
So yeah, there's just a lot of things going on, and in a lot of different states. It's very interesting, to say the least.
Crazy.
I would say that if somebody's accused of rape and that can get you 20 to 25 years, you should be able to prosecute the person if you didn't do it.
Yeah.
I didn't know. First of all, I don't know one rapist who stays in jail for 20 to 25 years.
Yeah.
I don't know not one.
That's what they get charged with.
Yeah, they don't stay in there.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know not one that stays in. I've seen repeat rapists like go to jail and not stay in for 20 to 25 years.
But there are rapists that do serve that much time.
Oh.
And I actually grew up with a person that. What?
You already
I know a lot of people.
Everybody.
He actually. I'm just saying. Put it like this: how much time should a person? How much time do they usually serve? There are innocent
In my
people.
opinion,
Yeah,
not enough.
For what you know. If they did it, they should serve. They should die or serve. I agree. I'm talking about people who are innocent. No, somebody raped your daughter.
Yeah, you're right.
Brutally.
I get it.
I get it. Look,
I
I wasn't expecting you to say it. That's all the whole point.
I'm not making light of the rape crime.
Yeah.
I'm saying that if somebody you can't accuse me of murder, right? Because you got to be dead. You can't. You know, there's few crimes you can.
Technically.
You got a few crimes you can accuse somebody of where you potentially never got touched by that person, but they can serve big fucking time. Like if you.
Are they gonna? If that's the case, then they need to apply that to people, eyewitnesses, in cases where they say, "Oh yeah, that was the person who came into my house and shot my husband, and yeah, that was them, and it's not them." But there are laws for that. If you're a wife and somebody comes shoot your husband and you name the wrong person, and you basically what could be prosecuted would be a conspirator to commit a crime. Like you basically would be like, well, you must have been involved with the person who did it. There are laws in the books for that, but I'm saying that. But being involved with the person who did it versus saying that, oh, this person didn't do it at all. Those are two separate charges.
No. I'm saying that if it's found that wife or whoever lied in your hypothetical argument about that person who came into her house, and she was found out in court to be telling a lie, she can be prosecuted as being a conspirator to the murder of her husband.
But the key to that is she's found out to be a lie. If someone is accusing someone of rape, just because they were proven innocent in court doesn't mean that they didn't commit the crime.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's an option. Like if the court finds enough evidence that the person lied, and I think they should. Or at least it gives people. There are people who falsely accuse people of rape, right?
And I think
you should not be able to see. Okay, there's people that get accused of statutory rape. It's about 3 years. I told you a story about my niece. And when they went to court with this person, 3 years. The people that get accused of sodomy and beating somebody half to death and raping them. Those rapes you're gonna serve some time, considerable decades. But if you get accused of dating somebody and she said no, and you might not get 20, 25 years for that, but you're gonna get considerable amount of time, 1 to 5 generally. But if somebody didn't do it, there should be recourse because it really is a lot of times their word against yours. So, what's the safety net for people who are accused of that?
What's the safety net for the people who are afraid to come forward? Because essentially what they're saying is, hey, if we take this to court and we don't get it and we don't get them, we could charge you. That's going to stop a lot of people from coming to the cops, a lot of victims from coming to the cops. So how do you stop that?
So what should happen to people who falsely accuse people?
There's already charges for that. You can go to jail for falsely accusing, but falsely accusing and someone not being found guilty in court, those are two separate things.
To me,
there's really no choice. People don't go to jail for falsely accusing rape. They're just saying it should be on the books.
Those are felonious charges. Though, yes, it's filing a false police report. Those are felonious charges. That's already the case.
I feel like that depends on the lawyers on that one. Like for real, like if that lawyer was able to prove that, hey, this person was.
If that's the case, I'm sure they could prove it prior to taking someone to court.
Like, no, I get what you're saying. I don't know. That's a touchy subject when it comes to that one. I mean, because I see where you're coming from. I see where he's coming from too. Because there has to be some type of punishment for, because there are some people just out here just lying for the sake of lying.
Yes,
and I get that's what Joe's trying to say. Like, hey, you got to do something.
I don't deny that.
Put it like this: generally, when someone files a false police report, it's not then followed by a long trial, because that generally stopped way before that time. Like if I file against you, and 2-3 years later you go to court, you're not dealing with filing a false report anymore. You're dealing with something different. So they can't apply that to that, because that has already been going from the police station to the district attorney's office. So once it gets to that point, it's no longer just simply a charge of filing a false report. Like saying somebody stole your car and you burnt it up for insurance purposes. That's filing for a false report. But once it gets to the DA's office and judges are involved, you're not dealing with that's beyond the scope of that law, right? So you should have something in place. Now, no one, like I said, no one likes a rapist. They don't get no respect nowhere in the world.
I would hope nobody likes a rapist.
Yeah,
well, they have one jail where they do.
Yeah, but there's no, but the argument should be said that, look, there are a lot of people who are, even in our past, who are accused and hung, and people that are generally the people like that are accused wrongly, they don't have any recourse. Okay, I didn't do it. They go to jail. The person that accused them can just walk away. They shouldn't be able to walk away. You shouldn't potentially have somebody go to jail for 20 years and you can walk away like nothing happened, because there's very few crimes where that can happen.
But if it's based on, because we didn't win the case, that's not fair. That's because them not winning the case doesn't mean that person was lying.
I agree.
That's not
That's
logical.
not what it said, though.
They said they have the option to do so if they lose the case.
They have the option under certain circumstances if they lose the case.
If they lose the case, that should not be a part of it. That's my issue. If we lose the case, that is my issue. That's what's going to deter victims from coming forward. If we lose the case.
If it's not proven in the court of law, there are certain options, like you said. Like okay, if you lose and it's like kind of like gray area, but if you lose and it's like shown that there are a lot of discrepancies in your story, I mean, it's like.
Wait up. This is Alabama we're talking about too, right?
Yeah, this is Alabama.
Yeah, Joe. Yeah, this is Alabama. That's a whole different vibe there, dog.
Right.
Yeah, they might be like, oh, you ain't find her guilty. I might. You gotta go ahead and go to jail.
That's
Man.
Mississippi.
No, that's how they talk. No, that's how they talk in Alabama.
I'm just saying, it's very. It just sounds a lot. It just sounds like another way to silence victims. Just like how they would do back in the day with women. Oh, were you promiscuous? Were you drinking? Were you all of this shit? I mean, it's just another way to silence victims.
That does sound. I mean, this is Alabama too, bro. Like Alabama is not progressive.
I feel like if you're doing all of that police investigation
so I feel like that's the vibe they're gonna go off with that one.
Because I feel like a competent district attorney. I don't know if that's what they have in Alabama, but a competent district attorney should have all evidence prior to that. They should be going over the statements with the victim. All of these things should be happening prior to taking it to trial. Yeah. So up until that point, nothing came out that you know what I'm saying? Like before y'all took it to court, this is when all of a sudden it's like, you ain't probably lying.
How it's applied in Alabama, notwithstanding, I mean, yes, I don't have any faith in many jurisdictions, but to say that there should not be any safeguard against false accusation is not correct.
I didn't say that. I said
that's my argument, though.
Oh, okay.
There should be. There should be.
Because I didn't say that.
I didn't say Alabama. I just my whole statement from the beginning was there should be a law that precludes people from falsely accusing people, particularly when you're talking about 20 years ago without any physical evidence that somebody did something to me.
Well, we all agree with that.
Huh?
I think we all agree with that part. But I think the problem is we're talking about Alabama. We agree with what you're saying. Like
I'm not talking about Alabama.
I know, but that's what
the general idea. You're talking about the general idea.
Yeah, but I think
didn't say Alabama.
I think we got to keep the focus on Alabama on that one because it's Alabama, bro.
Put it like this:
because Alabama.
Have
you been to Alabama?
Yeah. And we just have been to New York. Yeah, like some places not prejudiced.
No, I'm just saying. No, it's not about being prejudiced. Alabama is just literally behind the curve on a lot of shit. Like when she said that, I'm like
behind the curve.
I'm like, yeah, that makes sense because it's Alabama.
In education.
Yeah, bro. Like Alabama is really not there, dog.
Like they're 50th.
Like they're not there. That's what I'm saying. When she says, I'm like, that makes sense for like Alabama represent like for some shit like that to happen in Alabama. I would have been more surprised if they would have said South Carolina. I'm like, oh wow, South Carolina. I'm like, all right, we kind of like fucked up, but we ain't like that. Alabama's like, yeah, I see it because they don't have no sense down there. Like that makes sense to them. They still in some places still have lynchings. Like that's not a normal thing.
They have lynchings in every state.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
South Carolina's had one this last summer, but I mean, I'm not saying there's lynchings all over the place, but I'm saying that when we talk about abortion, you talk about this law. You can't talk about it just in that one jurisdiction. You got to deal with that. They're not just trying to stop in Georgia and Alabama, right? So when I discuss abortions and rights, Roe v. Wade was not just in one state, right? It's a national law, and then went international after that, actually. So when I look at law, I don't look at it just for the state. I look at precedent, right? So I'm just saying that overall, if somebody can accuse you of a crime, which is unique in the fact that you could be alive and not have any injuries and not have any actual occurrence happen, but get accused somebody of a crime that will land them in jail for a long time. Different than financial crime, different than a murder, different than a robbery. It's just something where it's just really, most of the time, your word against another person. What is the safeguard in this climate when people can come back 15 years later? Particularly those cases where it's not like it happened last week and there's physical evidence.
Well, different states do have different statutes of limitations.
Yeah, but none less than 20 years though. So if you're talking about those cases, I'm for that law. If you're talking about, it just happened a week ago, a month ago, okay. I feel like if it happened, there will be physical evidence, and we have more of a shorter timeline to work with. But not when you're dealing with cases where people are coming up 10 years ago and people's careers are being destroyed.
I mean, if it's one person, all right, but if it's a 60, everybody didn't get together and lie on that one person. Like,
well,
if highly unlikely.
Yeah.
For what?
Well, depending on the person, but
well, I don't know one.
Bro, when you doing that?
He ain't it. He not.
Fuck no. No, I mean, but like I said, when one reason I was saying, like, as far as
hold on, Brianna said South Carolina gonna be next, just like Georgia and Florida and maybe North Carolina. First of all, I rebuke you because I will move all the way to the West Coast.
Right,
bitch.
exactly.
No, ma'am.
So do you think they're trying to overrule the Roe versus Wade and make it just abortions just?
I honestly think it really has very little to do with women's rights. I think it has more so to do with the population of America in general right now. Like, I mean, they don't have enough people paying. One, they don't have enough people paying in Social Security. That's number one. We're getting further and further in the debt. And most of your northern states, the average age of those populations up there are mid 40s to early 50s. So those populations, like, they're literally paying people to move to, like, Maine and Vermont. Like, they don't have enough people. And the average household, the average American household right now is like 1.2 children per household or something like that. Mm-hmm. I mean, we just don't have enough people working. Like, we don't have enough of a workforce, and that's another way to make sure we do.
That's an interesting conversation because there is such a fact of particularly white people. God damn. Oh, what? It's true.
Here we go.
Go ahead. I'm just listening. I'm just listening.
I mean, because it's not everybody, but they're more of them dying than being born. That's just a fact. Many articles have been written on that. I didn't make it up. So when you talk about the population, yes, where you see more and more people not really procreating. I mean, look at all of the people you see around Charlotte and around a certain age. Okay. Right? You don't see a lot of baby carriages.
We be like, hell no, I get a dog.
Yeah.
Babies cost some shit on the money.
And that's something that's real in there. Because that's why, you're right, some of these states are dealing with it with that. And that's really what it's about. But do you think this might be revolutionary for some?
Oh man.
Do you think that women could just say, you know what? There are herbs that after you have sex, right, that will terminate your pregnancy, right?
You said herbs?
Herbs.
I was like herbs. Okay.
I thought you were talking about like lame niggas. I was like,
no, not herbs.
I know what you're saying. Okay, I'm sorry.
Like, lame ass niggas doing
Tomato.
I was like, huh? Okay.
I'm like, those some lame niggas for real.
Herbs and spices. I say herbs. But anyway.
Herbs.
So, for example, like, is it not psychologically damning to women in general to have an abortion?
I would think so.
Yeah.
It's psychologically damning to women to have children. I know them. I know women who have been psychologically damaged.
It is, but is it but okay. Is it not damaging? Is it not something where, say in the next reality or in 500 years, to really be doing this, to me, at the rate it's happening, not that it, there are times where it might happen, but it's like, people are getting 5 or 6 abortions
But that's
Might
not.
not.
That's them.
That's them.
There shouldn't be a law that makes them do what they don't want to do. That's your opinion on their body. That's not
They
okay.
should be able to have.
If they want to go
abortions,
crazy,
that's
they
fine.
can. They go crazy from dating men. They go crazy from doing drugs. They go crazy from drink. They go crazy from a lot of shit. So why is it abortions that they get to regulate?
Because you're talking about, okay, when people look at, okay, it's my body.
It is.
They are, yeah, it is. Okay, so can you do you pay taxes?
I'm sorry?
You pay taxes?
Absolutely.
Okay. So we can't say, okay, because it's my body, I can do whatever the hell I want, right?
Why
You
not?
can't.
Why not?
No,
It's
you
my
can't.
body.
It's my body. I can. I absolutely can.
Do you do anything with your body that you want?
I do.
You do?
I do whatever I want to do with my body. What do you mean?
So you go to any apartment and just don't pay rent? Or any house and don't pay mortgage?
I don't not want to do that. First of all, let's be very clear. Let's be very clear. First of all, no. Hold on, let me finish. Those are external things. Those are external things where others are affected. That is not the same thing as having a baby. If I choose not to pay rent, you can put me out of your house or your apartment and you can find somebody else to pay that rent.
Yeah.
If you force me to have a child, I'm damaged, that child is damaged,
Right. Yeah.
and God knows where the fuck the daddy is.
Yeah. Put it like this.
Go on,
Put it like this. If you suck the child out of the mother, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that unborn child, when does life start to you?
So here's my thing about that. I'm glad that you asked.
What is life start? How about that?
So here's my thing. Yes, we are. But here's my thing about that. So I don't deny. I can't stand Sean right now. First of all,
Why is Sean under the thing?
I can't stand Sean right now. So here's my thing. I don't even believe that abortion laws should be based on when someone is arguing life begins. If you want to argue that life begins at conception, that's fine. If you want to argue that life begins at when the fetus has a heartbeat, that's fine. Here's my thing. Mm-hmm. If you're going to fight for that life, right, then that life should be able to survive outside of that woman's body. That's my personal opinion. If you're going to force me and my body to take care of something that I don't want, then that's a problem for me. That's a problem. And they have science right now, it's getting better where, children can, or fetuses can survive at 25 weeks, 22 weeks, it gets iffy around that time, but it can work. But at 6 weeks, no fetus is surviving at 6 weeks outside of the human body. Yeah. Right now.
Well, I mean, okay, the 6 week law, we know it's bullshit because I know that you can't, most insurances don't even pay for a sonogram until you're 12 weeks. So to say that you need a sonogram at 5 weeks
is insane.
I know that basically they're saying you got to pay for that out of pocket, right? The law is bullshit.
It is.
But I'm just talking about when does life start, and can we do something different?
What's the difference then?
Can we do something different? Like, for example, I've had scenarios where somebody told me, like, I had a girlfriend told me that, oh, I feel like, last night I think I got pregnant, right? Literally. So she said, I'm gonna go to my herbalist, not herbalist. I'm going to my herbalist,
Walgreens,
and I'm going to. Wait, I mean,
hello.
It's a thing.
I told him $70, so I was like, it's $70.
Oh, mine completely.
It's like $10.
No, it's like $60.
It's like $50.
Yes.
Okay.
But you coming too, so I can cart. We in this together. What are you talking about?
No, she came to me too. She's like, I need 35 for that.
What up?
So
Is it okay for me to come back?
It wasn't even that bad.
It wasn't.
we just having a conversation.
That's it. It's a healthy
I
conversation.
just said women should be able to have that they need to have 10 children. In Alabama, they need to have 10 children.
You good?
But they all gonna be cousin brothers.
But I'm just saying.
Let me stop doing that because my family's actually from Alabama. So please.
I'm just saying it could be more to be done with it, right? Say somebody gets raped right after it. Part of rape kit should be getting a Plan B pill.
It should be. I fully agree
right?
with that.
And I think that we could do other things, and I think there is a level.
But if that's the argument, then the first thing we should really start with is sex education.
Oh man.
That's the biggest thing we need to start with, because the problem is a lot of people don't even know how a lot of women don't even know how their own body works, let alone men. Like there are men making these laws that don't know how the basic human body works. How can you make a law on something that you don't how can you vote on a law about something that you don't understand?
Yes.
There was a senator on record who made a suggestion that for gynecological exams women should swallow pill cameras. Had no idea that the digestive tract and the reproductive system had no fucking clue. Another senator wanted to vote that they shouldn't have tampons in the women's bathroom because he thought it was sex toys. These are the people voting on laws regarding our reproductive organs. That's a problem, dog. Like, that's a fucking problem, dog. Like, and
Joe, that's.
I mean, if you're in a position where you're making those laws, you need to be educated, and then you're arguing. You're not even allowing for any kind of leeway when it comes to sex education. If women knew how to track their cycle, if women knew what their options were, if women knew that, a lot of them probably wouldn't get pregnant at the rate that they do.
So nobody's mama saying that.
Gloves up, son.
They mamas might not. Prime example. I worked in Macon, Georgia. Macon, Georgia is about, I want to say, the poverty level is high in Macon, Georgia. We'll just leave it there. It's very high.
Raw dog.
There was a young lady that came in. Yeah. She was 16. Mm-hmm. She had given birth the year before. She was pregnant again. She came in because she had abdominal pain. Turns out the young lady had gonorrhea. Mm-hmm. She said she knew that her boyfriend had it, but he said if he pulls out, she can't catch it.
What?
Jesus.
She real life believed that. She's 16. The person that came with her was her 18-year-old sister who had 2 kids. Mm. The mother was nowhere to be found. There is no sex education in that area. I know because I volunteered in those school systems. Yeah. So in those cases, if children were educated enough, I feel like a good percentage of them would make some different choices if they just knew that.
And that is why I mentioned that. Because if you have 70 million abortions since Roe v. Wade was passed in 72, right? Then that is an element of dysfunction in the society. Not really dealing with women's rights or anything like that, but because in a working, functional society, you just wouldn't have 70 million abortions because you'll be doing things in a certain manner, a certain way. It's not normalized, and this is why the generation that is coming after the baby boomers is so damn thin, right? So especially in certain populations that are having abortions, which is. But they're really trying to stop certain people from having abortions, not everybody.
I was about to say, because all these men that's voting in these laws, if they mistresses get pregnant, trust me.
Yeah, they only dealing with trying to stop certain races. Because if you look at Planned Parenthood clinics and you look at that dynamic, you know where they usually are.
Absolutely.
They're usually in black communities, so they're not trying to stop black women from doing it. So y'all are good. They're trying to stop certain people from doing it. Right? That's just facts. That's just been known. So my thing is that it is an element of dysfunction. It's like you don't get certain things if things are working right? So it's just unfortunate that people are doing it that many times when there's really a million other ways to deal with that same issue, and that is better than 12, 16, 20 weeks. Sucking the fetus out of the vacuum. There's better ways to do that. No matter what anybody says about their body or not. There are many things that I can't do to my body. You can't even commit suicide without. If you live, you'll be charged. So.
Yeah, I think that's insane as well.
Yeah,
somebody said I want to kill myself. You shouldn't be able to put them on a 72-hour hold. Let them kill themselves. I don't understand.
There are many things you can't do with your body.
Wait, let me say. Everybody just looking at me like, what the fuck? So let me just say, I'm not promoting suicide. I could never work the suicide hotline. I know that. But what I'm saying is, no, because I'm gonna be like, hey, quit playing or just do it. Like, why the fuck you calling me? But that's why I know that's not my calling. What I'm saying is a person shouldn't be put on lockdown as a result. That was my point.
You should let them kill themselves.
You should let them. You should because they still end up doing it. It's only a 72-hour hold. Yeah. If they want to do it, they're still going to.
You can help them within 72 hours.
And then what? Because if you don't have insurance, they not helping your ass no more. You ain't getting no more drugs. You ain't getting no therapy. You ain't getting shit.
At least you gave them that chance to maybe survive.
3 days.
Yeah.
And then they go back to the same
3
shit.
3 days to basically figure themselves out.
Bro,
that's wonderful. Absolutely. 3 days is not enough.
I know that. Obviously, I know that. Well, I'm just saying, maybe
I think 3 days is good.
Maybe you can put them in the right direction. No, because listen, they could have been on some type of like, oh shit, their life was crashed down or whatever. And in 3 days, it could be the. I mean, for some people,
that's like Jesus.
If you're listening to this, I'm not saying kill yourself.
I take my words. I'm not gonna say that.
So, is there anything else on the docket that we can talk about?
Oh Lord.
I mean, when you think about it, that was technically suicide too.
Wowzers.
I mean,
Steve Harvey's a sucker.
Oh my God. Can we stop? Are we done with the abortion part?
Yes.
wait. Hold on. I said I would do better at reading the comments, guys.
Go ahead.
Hold on.
Are you reading them from Facebook?
Yeah, so Lenny Graham. Shout out to Lenny Graham, man.
That's my homie.
Is that Facebook or is that...
It's YouTube.
YouTube?
Lenny Graham said, those abortion laws are ridiculous. Women will face jail time for miscarriages. I don't understand the thought process of these lawmakers. He also said, in all seriousness, rape babies, quote unquote, are going to be on the rise in those states. That's seriously effed up. And who are you to tell anyone what to do with their bodies? And then Brianna said, why force women to have babies they don't want when there are thousands of children in foster homes that no one is adopting?
Jazz said your fro looks dope, by the way.
Oh, thank you, Jay.
Oh my God.
And if you can't see it because the camera
Yes.
didn't zoom in, her edges is on fleek just so we clear.
Oh, that counts.
Baby hair.
Baby hair. This is a process. You're natural. You're natural.
Haley said, "Damn dog."
So they saying just to address the comments. Okay. So are they saying that rape baby, right?
I don't even like that term.
What percentage of abortions do you believe are rape babies, quote unquote? I mean, that's not the general reason people get aborted.
I mean, listen, if we're going to talk about beliefs, that's based on the experiences that you've had and what you've seen. So you may not believe that based on what you've seen and what you know. I may feel differently because of what I've seen and what I know. Like, if we don't have the stats, like...
I mean, there are reasonable stats where I would say that if you're saying to me that if you stop abortions today, people will not have babies from rapists, right? Is that what we're saying?
That's not what I'm saying. I don't.
No, I'm saying you're saying rape babies will be on the rise. Is that the predominant reason people get abortions?
Maybe not.
Not in anybody's experience that I know. I mean, maybe it is, but I never heard of that, personally speaking. Mostly it's other reasons why that happens, but even if you were to get raped, like I said, I addressed the rape part. It should be part of the rape kit. You don't have to go through the whole pregnancy part of it. If you get raped, like when my daughter was touched, and I thought she was touched, I brought her to the hospital, and she wasn't penetrated. But if she was, there should be something there that would prevent anything from blossoming in that. I just think that, not that women shouldn't have the right to say, you know what, I don't want this right now. Because there are many women that I know, had they had that baby with that first nigga, oh my God. At 16.
I gotta start.
You know what I'm saying?
First nigga.
It'd be horrible.
Oh my God.
I'll be the first to tell you. You know what I'm saying? Imagine the 16-year-old babies that you had with the first. No, it'd be very, very bad. So it's like, but I really do feel that there is a better way to do that because it's too traumatizing, and nobody could be a full person after having 4 or 5 abortions. I ain't talking about one.
I mean, I've seen doctors that leave the practice because they see like little baby hands,
Yeah,
and all that kind of shit.
Come on,
That shit crazy.
that's something that should be phased out. Not in that way. Not in that way. But why can't we say, look?
So you think it should be a limit on abortion?
I think from people that I've known, again, my belief, what my experience is telling me, that have 4 or 5 babies, if you can do that 4 or 5, 6, 7, and 8 times, right? And then you want them to love their man and be all this, they're not gonna be able to do it. Period. Okay? They don't have.
They can't love a man now because of the niggas they knew.
For a year.
Without abortion.
For a year. For years, I would just say, look, I could tell how many abortions you have looking at your eyes. Okay, that's just real.
Bro.
You can tell somebody by their eyes.
Yes. Women don't have a. I'm just saying. I've been.
But even if that does have
years.
psychological issues on them, that is that is their decision to make. There are women who have had 4 and 5 kids and have psychological issues because they had the damn kids and still got them. So what are you saying? And they don't love them either.
Well,
that's the truth.
no mothers. Okay.
Women, I know women. They raise them. They take care of them because they have to.
Yeah.
But they don't raise whole adults. They don't raise whole children. They
That's
fuck
true.
them kids up because they hate them because they fucked up their lives and they kept them.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
That's true. And again, I'm not saying that nobody should have babies they don't want. I'm just saying that the abortion as it's practiced now, don't you feel there's a better way? I feel there's a better way. I'm not saying that people should.
There could be a better way.
I don't feel. I'm not saying that people should just have a whole heap of fucking babies with dysfunctionality, with real herbs, right? I'm just saying that real herbs this time. I'm just saying that don't you feel that sucking the baby out of the woman's womb, sometimes making them unable to have babies again after that, isn't there a better way? I believe there is a better way.
If there is, they need to do research on it, but nobody's
But
going to want to do
it's
it
already-
if they
it's
already
already
enacted
done.
laws that you can't fucking do it
It's
like,
already
at
known.
all.
It's already known though.
Hey,
What's up?
this shit is never on the docket ever again.
I think
I
I should.
just want to tell this story real quick.
Shit.
I want to end this.
We gonna talk the hour about this shit.
I know this is going to be.
Shit.
This is wrong, but my cousin from California, he was a rapist, and they call him Stinky the rapist because the victim stopped.
Like shitty cuz?
Yes. So he stank real bad, and Carmen is a bitch because he was riding his bike one day, trying to find. This is a real story. Trying to find somebody else to rape. And he didn't have the handlebars, and he got paralyzed from the waist down, so he can't keep that dick no more. This is a true story.
LBH, birth control is definitely still a choice, and those also have side effects. I'm a person that is vehemently against birth control, so unless you're willing to take male birth control, I don't really understand why you would suggest that. Thanks.
Awesome. So
that's why I want to cut this story with that true story.
I would say one thing to that.
no.
I'm not one thing. I got one more thing to say. That's my real name.
Oh my
Story was the end to that.
No, that was a great story.
A true story.
About
True
rapists, but I'm talking about one like this. I'm not. Just to be clear. First of all,
True story.
it's no fun if everybody agrees, right?
It's no fun. You're right.
You're right. So let me
This
just
is
say
entertaining.
that, okay? And I no way want people to just have a bunch of badass kids that nobody wants. I've seen that so many times, and you're right. It is horrible, and it does cause
Them
a
the ones that run
litany
fast
of
and talk slow.
Exactly, run real fast and talk real fucking slow. So I agree. I don't want to see that, and it causes a lot of psychological problems. But when I look at life, I say, look, don't you think maybe instead of 70 million abortions in the next 50 years, we can have maybe 10 million? Maybe because many people say, okay, here's the herbal cocktail that you can use to say, when you have sex with your man, drink it in a goddamn tea, and you can't get pregnant. If you take bladder wax right now and put it in goddamn smoothies, guess what? You can't get pregnant. So there are known things that people know about. If you read about it, researched it, there are other ways to sort of temper down the number. I just don't think it's good for a society to have that many. And I don't think it's good for people to have that many. Now, I'm not talking about people who have one or two. But, just think about it. Maybe there's a better way.
Oh, okay.
I feel you, though.
I fucking hate all of you.
So next
This next topic.
Fuck that topic.
Yeah, no,
Steve
not
Harvey's
fuck that
wife,
topic.
please.
Wait, what happened with Steve Harvey's wife?
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
God.
Marjorie?
Marjorie?
What happened with Marjorie?
Oh my God! What was you?
Hold up, I
You mentioned
missed
Steve
that.
Harvey's wife. You mentioned Steve Harvey's wife.
I don't even want to talk about that shit no more.
Well, we gonna talk about it. Stop being an honorary old man right now.
Right.
Fuck y'all.
Marjorie.
Shit.
That's with Marjorie.
That food's smoking.
All I can get off my mind is fucking abortions and shit.
Okay, well you're
What?
here. You
It
made it.
happens.
I'm hungry.
Fuck, I hate
You
y'all.
beat the race. Come on, man. What happened
Okay,
with
go
Marjorie?
ahead.
I don't even know anymore. I lost my
Okay,
point.
what happened with
I need to
Marjorie?
look this
then?
up.
Shit.
Well, put it like this. I think that it looks like a case where if she's going to divorce Steve Harvey,
Oh.
Oh,
They
shit.
Hold
talking
up,
about
I didn't
divorce?
see
I ain't
that.
about to know about
they
it.
are talking about it. But
After
and
he
they-
lost his two.
that's what they
I
saying.
know.
What I think is happening is, see, she has 3 children, right?
Mm-hmm.
But all of the children are from drug kingpins, right?
Mm-hmm.
And which is whatever, she's obviously was the typical drug dealer girlfriend. But what happens? I don't know if people heard of this idea that there are situations where somebody gets married to somebody for whatever the reason, money, whatever, while their main man got locked up for 25, 30 years, right? And then when they got out,
One of her baby daddies coming out.
one of them came out, one of them is coming out.
Oh shit.
So
The plot thickens.
Shut your ass up.
So I think, I really feel that
Ignorant.
it looks like that's what she's doing. Like she got the bag from Steve Harvey, and then when her real men come out,
How
See
did
the-
I miss that? What the
see
fuck?
the boy.
How the fuck I missed it?
This is my idea.
Y'all messy
I know he's. They're talking about divorce, right?
Fuck your brother.
The man, the baby daddy came out of prison. Cause she don't got no children with Steve Harvey. She had 3 children from those niggas. Right?
Good.
Now, I knew of a young lady
Is that?
that married somebody she had a baby with somebody. He went to jail for 10 years, and she was married almost the entire time he was in jail. Then right before he got out, she got a divorce, and then the dude came back, and then they had another baby. So it just sounds like the situation, because when somebody comes out, then all these rumors start happening. You taking trips around the world by yourself and your daughter that is not Steve Harvey's daughter. Like, it kind of sounds like that's the game, and I'm wondering if that's the game.
That's gonna mess up his brand, I'll tell you that.
I don't know.
So I don't know, but she
Divorce.
yes,
I didn't hear about this.
I did not either.
really, you didn't hear about the divorce rumors?
No.
Yeah, that's why I don't know why his
I
shows
don't
are being
see-
canceled left and right, but
Must not be.
He probably thought everything was okay or some shit.
Whew, Steve.
I see.
Come on the show if you need somebody to talk to.
So hopefully not, Steve. What's
This
up?
says that they're not getting. It says they're not getting a divorce. She talked to somebody. So,
Yeah,
despite the rumors,
there's rumors. I don't know where the rumors coming from.
Oh,
But-
shit.
They always say that.
Joe is like has a person right.
I'm about to say, first of all,
On
Wendy
stage,
Williams got
like,
up on her
listening to
show.
tea and shit.
Wendy Williams got up on her show, flaunted her little ring, talking about her and her man was good, and a week later,
and it
the
was
side chick was about to give birth, and he was moving out, and now he's suing her for all kinds of support. So,
Yeah.
Wendy girl, I hope you make it.
And
through.
I'm loving the shade she be throwing at him on her show though.
What do you want?
I need Wendy to focus on her right now.
Actually,
Yeah.
don't say at who.
She's struggling right now.
And
And the ex-husband that she protected.
How's
Oh,
she
okay.
going to throw shade? All right.
That been the
I
same
mean,
shit.
they throwing a little
I tell you
shade.
what, he consistent. That been the same side chick the whole time.
He's actually loyal as
So
motherfucker.
it took her having a baby. Her having a baby to just be like, oh,
I mean,
man.
apparently she was paying for the penthouse that the young lady was staying in, so it must have been the baby that drove them apart.
Yeah, okay.
Alright.
So I'm trying to figure out what it
very
was.
well.
She was living the life.
Don't nobody want to be with Wendy, bro. You bugging. Your boy said, who wants to be with Wendy?
Like, it makes me wonder, like, was this all just an arrangement in general? Like, 20 years? She in a penthouse? She living, you, Kevin, he wasn't home. You know where he was.
Not at all.
Come on now.
No, she was doing dirt too, though.
With who?
Yeah, exactly.
Look, it's somebody.
To who?
Look, somebody.
Was it you, Sean?
Sean.
She ain't got no beat.
You like them uppercase P's or nah, dog? What's up?
Bro.
They be out there sounding
She look like
She ain't got no Yeeks, yo. I
She
can't
look like
clap
that.
no Yeeks, yo.
What's that Muppets
You know her
character?
boobs come down her knees.
Nah, bro, she got that
Bro.
Taylor Swift.
I bet you
back,
she
yo.
got back
Yo. Y'all know that Muppets character with the big lips? She look exactly like that motherfucker.
Bro.
Oh, speaking of Muppets,
What?
Joel and B crying. You saw Joel and B cry?
No.
Wait, what is it?
What?
No, I know what you mean,
You
but
know-
how does that go for Muppets, though?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You didn't see Joel and B cry?
No.
You know who that is?
No.
He plays for the Philadelphia Suns.
You know who Joel and B is?
No.
No.
Oh, wait a second. Somebody said, bro, ain't nobody want her to even be a sister-in-law. That's fucked up.
Damn.
Damn, don't nobody want
That's
her.
wild shit.
I support you, Wendy. I listen to my hot topics in the morning.
I mean, listen, she will come
How
with the
you
tea,
doing?
but
Oh my God.
I'm still gonna talk about you, girl, because you look funny and your life is falling apart. So it's funny.
Remember
Now, I did
famous
like that
shit?
she wasn't real honest about nothing.
How you
She wasn't
doing?
honest in the beginning.
When she fainted like that, I was done.
Nah, B was out here crying.
She was on coke.
Okay, so
I mean, she back in rehab now, so she was on something. So she's going to rehab now.
You know all kind of conspiracies like you see her eyes turn to like lizard
This
eyes.
fool
Or some
says
shit.
she looked like her legs stink. First of
Who's that?
Speaking of legs, do y'all wash our legs? Did y'all hear that little
Bro,
debate about
let me
people
tell you
washing their
something.
legs?
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
People don't wash their legs.
So all my cousins out
Don't wash
there,
their
that's
legs
what I call people of Caucasian persuasion. To all my cousins
Bruh, I
out
wash
there.
my legs all the time.
To all my cousins out there, because
Let the
I
dope
know
get there.
it was most of my cousins that had
You gotta
answered this
scrub
survey.
that shit.
Okay, first of all, you got to wash your legs, okay? And get the bottom of your feet too, because they be dirty.
Exactly.
Okay, you can't just let you got to wash them, okay? And number two, you can't just jump in the pool for a shower, dog. Who the fuck is doing that, dog? Like, this shit, y'all ain't seen that shit?
Nah, dog.
Bro, they said there's an increasing number of people who jump in the pool as a substitute
Bro, you
to
supposed to take a shower
showers. I
after
swear to God, dog, I'm not.
Oh my
They have
god.
an aversion to water?
No, I'm not
Like soap?
bullshitting. And they admitted that they knew that it wasn't a good stuff. Like, they knew the pool water didn't clean them. I was like, yo.
You're trying not to shower.
I'm stereotyping like a motherfucker right now, but to all my cousins out there, y'all wash, dog. This shit is not okay, bruh.
I don't like
Fucking wash,
And use a
dog.
wash rag.
Wash.
Imagine the
That
bottom.
shit nasty,
the bottom
bruh.
of the seat is dirty like
You
that.
see it all the time when they be
But
in
they said they let
Walmart.
the water. They said that they let the water from the soap drip down, and it goes.
No, you
Legs
gotta
in
scrub
their
that
You
shit.
gotta rub it in.
Can we zoom in on Sean's face?
They don't use rags
Oh,
anyway.
my God. Oh yeah, they just use the bar.
They don't use
soap.
rags anyway, so they don't rub in. That's bad.
Oh man.
You know what I hate when like you ever had Sean? You ever had this story happen?
Why you pointing at
with
Sean?
somebody you fuck somebody doggy style and your feet is black?
Fucking no.
Hold on.
Fucking no, dog.
Shit.
Fucking no,
It's
dog.
just me.
Fucking no.
Hold
No, fucking no, dog.
Hold on, stop.
I died.
Fucking no, dog.
Why you ask me?
Put your head with that. I want to get engaged.
First of all,
Look, Josh ain't here.
Haley said they getting back to their roots. I'm done with your
Look,
ass.
Josh ain't here. That's some shit you ask Josh.
Fuck, dog.
Oh my god.
He like,
That happened?
"Oh, man, ain't nothing wrong with that."
I'm about to say because my
I was
next
getting
question
engaged.
was
Look,
gonna
Josh
be did you
doesn't matter.
finish? That was gonna be my next question. Did you finish, dog?
No, it never
He like,
happened.
"It doesn't matter."
Bro, she must not have known she was getting something if it happened because when you know
No,
you get
no,
something,
no,
you be
no.
extra
You be
particular.
extra
You be extra like, wait a minute, let
She
me.
just came from the backyard.
Did I get in between the labia minora and majora? I'm like, I'm not gonna miss my feet, dog.
Oh man.
Cause I was looking at ebonyfeet.com on X and XX, right? And then I saw a video of somebody's feet. They was black as like dirty ebony feet.
Yo, people into that shit, dog. Dirty
Not
feet.
that. It was just one of the videos. I like clean feet.
Yo, she dirty.
People apparently like that. Like
Yeah,
after the
that's
gym.
what I'm saying. Like,
Smell like-
after the gym smell.
I can't stand that shit.
God.
I like to see a man sweat, but don't touch me, dog. Wash. That's not it.
Like, oh, this nigga said she keeps her shoes on the outside.
Hey, I don't know who LBH is, but you ignorant as hell, dog.
I fucking hate every last one of you people in my life. I hate the fuck out. Damn it, Joe. You wild
I
today.
promise you, don't
I
that
think
irritate me
something
more
like
when I
that.
see dirty feet,
Bro,
dog. I
that,
can't stand
that ain't
it.
no water, G.
That's
That's
You know what that shit remind me of?
Alkaline water.
Boosie said it best.
alcoholic water.
Boosie said it best.
Alkaline
He said,
water.
"Dusty feet, please don't bother me." That's what he said. So I'm saying, shout out to my nigga Boosie.
Yeah.
So I saw this post. Moving right into the next thing.
Yeah, I like this segue. This segue is awesome.
I saw this post, and this guy, he said, do women ever just look at a man and think, wow, he's been through a lot, let me fix him? # where are those women? So,
I don't want to talk about this one. I'm just gonna.
someone, come on, Sean, win. You ain't got no more beer. You might as well talk. Someone said, another man, which I was happy to see, was like, did you ever think that you should go to a therapist and fix yourself instead of expecting a woman to fix you?
Right.
Yeah.
That was the question that he responded. And I thought that it brought up a very good point.
Which is?
Because I often hear, and this can go either way, but I'm just going to speak from my point of view, so the female's point of view, but it can go either way. I often hear men say, oh, well, she got to be down, or she got to, be with me shooting in the gym, and things of that nature.
Ride or die.
Ride or die. That term, which I think is toxic, but that's just me.
Right.
My first question is, where do people get the audacity
Oh shit.
to expect someone to stay with them and risk emotional distress while they're figuring their shit out? How is that an expectation upon anyone? I don't understand that shit and that's not to say, because we all have our shit, right? So no, you're not gonna be perfect when you get into a relationship, right? But at the very least, you need to be aware of your shit and working on your shit on your own. Yes. People shouldn't have to be emotional incubators for grown-ass children.
Yes.
I don't understand where that expectation came from.
Mom issues. I think I said this.
You have it.
I don't really know where to go for it.
That's something your mama should have done. Should afford it. Like I think Yana says it best. Your mama, a man is what his mama makes him to be, and that's very true. Like a lot of issues, like the play women and men, is based on parents who opposite gender parents. So it's sad, but I always feel like you can't be in love with somebody unless you can leave them at the drop of a dime. Because you can't love freely unless there's something that they can do to make you leave. So you should, as somebody goes against something that you hold dear and true, you should be able to say, you know what, I'm good with this. Because it's like, because I can do that, I feel like that's the only way love can be free and I don't feel captive. Because it's like, imagine like they could do any goddamn thing. Mm-hmm. Then you're not free. You're just like in jail. Yeah. So I think if both people are really courageous and free with that, it makes it work. And if they're not, then you're just fearful and you're hanging on to them for emotional, fucking psychological, financial support. And once you're doing that, that's not a relationship anymore. So that's how I feel about that. You want a young mama, I guess. That's not your mama.
That ain't your mammy.
I say that all the time. I ain't your mama. It's very interesting to me, and oftentimes what I found is the women that I've known that have stayed, but again, this can happen for men too. The women that I've known that have stayed and, helped men become men, by the time they get to that point, there's been so much emotional damage that the love that woman has is not. Yeah. It's not the same. Like at that point, she's there because of the history, not because she loves you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah. I can't speak what I want to say because I don't. For protection issue, I'll talk off the air. Okay, for protection issues, but.
I mean, okay, listen, do we need security? Like,
I just don't want to. What's happening out there?
Sean, but yeah, I just saw that, and I had been listening to some Betty Wright and some old school music recently, and that seemed to be pretty common, especially in old school music. Like you hear a lot of stick by your man if you paying the bills, yada yada yada. You're gonna fight the side chick. You're gonna do this. Hold on to that man and woo woo woo. I'm like, the fuck?
Talking about love,
bro. Like that's not fucking love.
That shit is destructive music.
Imprisonment.
Anyway. That's destructive music.
Yeah.
That's not even love anyway. Because it's like it makes you emotionally a slave to people. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't like that kind. I don't like the messaging in the music. Period. Like it's just not what it is about to me. Because you can't sustain that. All the people that did the best love songs have the worst relationships. Steve Harvey talking about relationships all goddamn day, but got married 4 times. So it's like you must not know the secret, right?
Well,
so
you know what not to do.
I guess. I guess. But
I'm about to say you don't hold on to
He
my
said,
3, it'll be a rap.
LBH said, "What is music talking about now?"
What is music?
What do you mean
Yeah,
in general?
Like music now.
Oh, it depends on what kind of music you're listening to.
Smoking dope, getting high, all that kind of shit. That's why
I think she's right. It's the musical landscape is so vast now that it's like
you don't have to listen to me.
Who listens to the radio? You know what I'm saying? Like I don't listen to the radio, so depending on what you're listening to.
And you don't have to take it seriously.
God damn, bro.
That's the other part.
That nigga wild.
What is that?
Nigga said Steve Harvey ugly and old. No. Bro, you wild as fuck, dog.
And a Boosie.
No.
Man. Damn, dog, you wild as
Boosie?
shit. Damn.
So,
it's a wild dude. I fuck with him. You gotta come on the show.
yeah.
So Haley said, but we're talking about love. For me, at least, I think women stay around because they are in love and think that you're supposed to endure / have no boundaries to protect yourself, and that's toxic. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Girl, stick with that man. He just being the man. Oh, okay, well, I'm gonna go find another one.
Yeah.
The fuck?
Gotta have boundaries. So it gotta be something that
maybe another 2.
Yeah, then we get to those songs about the girls leaving and how they want them back. So it just goes on to a different.
You want to leave it? No, bro.
I mean, that's what. Let me tell you something. The best begging ever comes from a fuck nigga. Understand me when I say it, dog. They got the best game ever, dog. They will make you feel bad.
Exactly.
They gon' dick you down right. First of all, okay, that's gonna be the best penis you ever had. Okay,
That's how it starts.
That's it.
Well, that shit won't work.
That's it. I ain't gonna mess up no more. I learned yada yada yada. Whoop de whoop whoop. That was different. Woo woo woo. I don't even love her. Yada yada. Oh, okay.
And why do you listen to him?
Yeah.
Cause you wanna believe it.
What's the second reason?
I don't know. Shit, I've been stopped listening.
And then
My last fucking nigga was about 6-7 years ago.
Oh, okay.
I guess Maury's next up.
So is Keith Sweat the godfather of fuck niggas?
Ah, damn.
Damn.
No.
No, he's not the quintessential fuck nigga.
I don't know. I don't know much about him except he looked like a turtle.
And he always
His music sounds like somebody that would be.
It sounds like he always trying to fuck with him.
Yeah,
He always begging.
exactly. So question. I had a question about relationships.
Oh shit. Oh.
I think.
So somebody
That's
say
why who's single? Sorry, that's what he.
who said that?
You're not LBH, are you?
No.
Oh, okay.
I was about to say, are you there? Darren, are you
Said that's
LBH?
why.
No,
That's why
I don't
she's
know.
single, but I don't
Who's
know what you're talking
LBH?
about.
Oh, so okay, question. So
probably
basically,
know.
say you with somebody, wife or girlfriend, right? A mate, and for somehow, some way, you know about their past, whether y'all were friends before y'all was together, or if he just told you a lot about her past, right? Is it fair to compare The things she did for
Bars.
somebody else to what she does for you. Like, is it like? Can you just say, okay, you did X, Y, and Z for this person, and should you hold up the same or expectations or more for yourself? What do you think? Let's go.
I don't
That's
think.
all both genders.
Here's why I don't think it's fair to compare. That's not to say that that next person, if it's a case of they showed this amount of love or this kind of amount of care, amount of attention, that's not to say that that person doesn't deserve it. But who that significant other was in the past, they're not the same person. So you can't expect them to behave in the same manner. Now, is that your fault? No, because you didn't know them then. But experiences change people. That's what shapes us. That's how we grow. So I mean, you just, I don't think it's a logical expectation if you believe that people change and grow over time.
Yeah. Okay.
That's just my opinion. Oh, and Bria said you cannot compare relationships. I feel like that's how she said it.
Yeah.
Wait.
Darren, what the fuck? Like, bro, you right there.
Like, Darren be great. Let's go 1-5.
H y'all niggas.
You messaged us right there.
H y'all motherfuckers, y'all so damn weird.
Okay.
H y'all.
Yeah, that's just my take.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Yo.
So.
I ain't gonna lie, I think I had stuff to talk about. I forgot about all of that shit.
Oh my god.
Every last bit. It was like, it was important shit too. I forgot about it. I was like, shit. I hate it.
Everything gets so deep.
Shit ain't get deep. Fuck you, eyes.
It got deep a couple times. I mean,
Yeah.
damn, dog.
Shit. So, yeah, how about these playoffs? Shit, like, I don't even know what else. I forgot what I was going to talk about.
Oh, LBH said, for one, I don't ask about what you did in your past. Furthermore, I don't give a fuck about your past. He put IDGAF, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, that's usually how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Because my thing is, I don't want to know that you was the wild, super, like, smut back in the day.
Well,
I don't want to know about that shit. You out here giving niggas the gawk 5,000 and shit.
Hey,
I
listen,
might want to know
I don't want to
that.
know. No. I don't
Alright,
want to know
listen,
that.
whether you want to know or not, if you're not my first, and
No, that's
I
fine.
put it on your ass, I had to learn somewhere.
This is the thing, though. This is why I don't
Tell
want
them
to know.
thank you.
Yeah, me and the Jai even said this shit. Especially if you ain't from it. Like, if we ain't grow up in the same, like, we grew up in the same city, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But if we ain't, like, I go back to your hometown or some shit, like,
Oh, that's who you were?
oh, you were
Oh,
her?
she
Yeah, I
cool.
don't know.
She
Let me holler at you.
cool.
Let me holler at you.
But
But you know what?
Let me holler at you
She
real quick.
smelled like her nut Cheerio.
Oh, damn, nigga.
I'm
Nice.
done.
So, funny story time. Funny story time.
Alright,
Shit,
what happened?
dog.
So let me tell you. First of all, let me tell y'all. After my last relationship, I was wild and free for the rest of college. So I had me myself a
I'm
good
mad
time.
that you gave me that disclaimer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And let me also say I'm not ashamed of a goddamn thing.
No, you
I'm
shouldn't
out
have to
here.
get no disclaimer. You live your life. That's your truth.
So anywho, just so happened that these three guys that I had known sexually.
Oh, you like fucking. Yo, my dog. Yeah.
They all ended up in the same fraternity.
Yes.
They weren't all in the same fraternity when I met them. One was, the other two joined later.
Yes.
Long story short, they all knew each other. They cool and shit. My name comes up at an engagement,
Yeah.
Oh my god.
and two of the guys, like, they were. I always date gentlemen. Like, they don't kiss and tell, for lack of a better term. So when my name came up, they were just like, "Oh yeah, she cool. You know her? Yeah, she cool as fuck."
Yeah.
And that was it. It didn't really bother me if they did, because what I do is what I do. So I mean.
When she said I'm doing well.
I mean, no, but my granny always said if you want to keep a secret, you do that shit by yourself. Like, otherwise, you got to expect people to talk. So that part doesn't really bother me.
Yes.
So the other guy, however, who was the newest to the bunch,
Yeah.
took offense. Like,
Oh,
he felt some
hoe-ass
type of
nigga.
way. He felt some type of way. His LB had also tried to talk to me, but I was like, nah, I'm straight on you, dog.
Yeah.
Wait.
He called me while he was at the event
Yeah.
Oh.
and had me on speakerphone, like, tried to like play me.
Yeah.
She do my
He
time.
tried to play you, girl. So he was like, hey, how do you know XYC, ABC? And I was like, oh yeah, they're cool or whatever. Like, we known each other for a while or whatever. So he was like, oh, well, your name came up and it seemed like they all know you like the way I know you. I said, okay, and?
Wait up, I got a question.
Yeah.
Like, this is like a guy. Is your pussy insured? Because, like, on some G. Like,
moving forward.
No. I'm going to keep it funny. To have niggas acting like that, you must be putting some, like, fire down on them. Because, yo, only cornball niggas who ain't never got no, like, good pussy in their lives do shit like that. That's corny. Because he feeling some type of way. He's like, that nigga probably been out here, he was, like, gave it to him, right? That nigga was out here, like, playing Carl Thomas and shit. I'm emotional.
First of all, I don't like it. Can I finish my story or no?
I took it on her boobs.
The newest to the bunch.
So, anywho, so I was like, we conversing, but then he said, well, I just got one question. I'm like, oh, okay, word, what's up? How many niggas have you fucked with out the frat?
Oh, that nigga was ready to eat your butt.
Sir, you talking to me?
Yeah.
I said, well, first of all, sir, if you must know, you make number 3. That's number 1.
Yeah.
But on top of that, if you have an issue with it, you can take that up with them. But guess what? The reason I'm so damn good at what I do, they're replacing. So what you should do is thank them. And I guarantee you, if you ask them about me, they gon' fuck with your girl. They're my references, if you must know. Like, don't fucking try to play me, dog. Don't do that. Don't fucking do that. I got so mad because I was like, yo, I can't. How many bitches have you fucked that I know? What do you mean? We just met. I didn't know you.
Wait a second.
I didn't fucking know you, dog. You're not about to play me. Like, what are you doing for? Stop it, sir. Stop it.
Oh my God.
Stop it. Stop it. Cut it out.
That's the wild double standard. But when I talk about comparing, I mean, like, I don't mean like, look, like whatever, like if you meet a woman, say I meet a woman, they're 30, they're 25, they've been fucking, hopefully.
Hopefully.
I'm
sorry. It was just.
What? I'm serious.
They've been out here.
You don't really want nobody 35 and they ain't fuck nobody yet. They
I mean,
crazy.
some guys do.
No, I don't.
You ever heard 30 over?
Yes.
Bruh,
I know a couple women that were virgins when they got married.
And I don't want it.
It was their choice.
I can't do it.
I mean,
I'm sorry.
no
Once I put that down on you.
But whether they were or not, like, I'm not judging that. That's not my call. You know what I'm saying? But, like, say simple things. Like, okay, say somebody gave, like, is cooking dinner every day, right, for her last husband, right? And she's quintessential and cool and kind, right? According to everybody. And then with you it's different. Can you compare that, or should you look at yourself? Like, cause
I think you should always look at yourself.
I mean, but would that be something that's fair to think about? Like, say you had a man and he talked about previous relationships, or you saw it because you were a friend of his, that he was always at home and always doing this, and then with you he's different. Would you compare in that way? Not compare or think about the past as far as the dalliances and their whole phases, but just in their committed relationships, how they operated, if you were privy to them.
I think it would be hard not to.
Yeah.
But I also think that it could be detrimental to place more weight on it than necessary.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, and that's just the way I look at it. The only two people that could have the relationship that they had were those two people.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I would say that's a good answer. That's how I would put it.
Great answer.
Yes.
In other words, I ain't worried about them assholes.
Yeah.
Look,
No, I just no whole intended. I love my sister. Shout out.
look, man. Back to that nigga though.
Huh?
Back to that nigga. Like, bro, what you do to him?
Let me see. I think he got mad at me after that. Yeah, he got mad at me and we didn't talk for a while, but I didn't realize that we weren't talking for a while because he wasn't really like on my radar like that. But we did start talking again, and he cool now. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, the first dude that I talked to that was already in the frat, like, we super cool. Like this man helped me through college. Like you bugging. Like
look,
man.
Because you helped him. Wink. like, no, that's how most dudes are. Like, most dudes like, yo, she was down, she was chill, she ain't never bothering me about shit.
I
Gave me some fire ass head and pussy. Shit, I'm good. That's usually a lot. I mean, I'm just kidding. No, I'm not even trying to be funny. That's usually how a lot of dudes are. We just like, yo, you never bother me about shit. You ain't get on my nerves about nothing. Like, some dudes just like, all right, cool. That one nigga started catching feelings off rip, and then when he found out some shit, wait a minute, y'all fuck too? Like, yeah.
Yeah. You should ask them. You should ask them about me. I'll put all them niggas to sleep.
Now.
What you trying to say? What's up? I cure insomnia out here. What are you saying? What are you saying?
But
ain't no shame over here.
That's the thing though. So I see. Look, I don't agree with how he was acting, but I see why, because I've seen this shit happen before. With dudes be fucking with a chick, you know what I'm saying, find out like a couple of niggas done be in the pool or some shit.
And I understand it's a little deeper for them,
like
because
niggas be
he's
feeling
a
some type of
frat,
way.
but I'm like,
it's
dog,
college,
like
though.
I know, but niggas,
yeah, it's college.
you gotta understand, like,
you just got in the frat, so I don't understand.
Some dudes don't have that strong mental. So when you have a weak mental like that, where you're probably automatically thinking, damn, were they better than me?
I'm about to say, if you know you on your shit. If you know you can put me to sleep just the same, you ain't really worried about.
That nigga called feelings though. That was the thing. Like, I'm not no disrespect at all. I don't want you to take this in no type of disrespect. But if at the end of the day, you look like, oh y'all fuck, I fuck too. High five, cool.
None of them did that.
I'm just saying, that's how most dudes do. Cause like it's been plenty of times I'm like, man, yo, this and that. Oh, you talking to so and so? I'm like, yeah. You're like, yo, I beat. I'm like, oh, word. High five!
So,
I beat too. I'm like, all right, cool.
Even when I was a savage and I was out here, like the guys that I dated, like there was just a higher level of mutual respect between us. So those conversations didn't happen. Not because I told them not to, but that just wasn't who they were. Those weren't the guys that I fucked. I'm being honest. They didn't. I guarantee you they didn't, dear. And I know them a little better than you do.
That's fine.
So
look. I'm not gonna argue with you on that one. I'm just
you couldn't because you don't know them. So
I don't need to know them. I just need to know that as a man,
all men don't do that.
Not all men do that, but we all have some type of conversation. We don't have to have it like saying, "Oh, I beat it." It's sometimes just a simple word.
Put it like this.
Okay. And we'll leave it at that.
Put it like this.
That's way different than you beat. I
no. See, that's what I'm saying. You're thinking that all of us just out here like, yeah. No.
That was the example that you gave.
Yeah, but that's not an example that I'm trying to give right now. I'm just saying we all have this. Sometimes it's an
unspoken
thing where we like, oh,
they definitely did it.
But they know.
They definitely
they've had a conversation about it.
They definitely did it
some type of way.
They definitely did it in a gentlemanly way.
Exactly.
Enough for the dude to come back to you and say, it seemed like they know you in this way.
Thank you.
They said something more than, oh, she cool.
That's what I'm trying to get at.
Like, said than that.
You should have led with that though. You led with
well, this is what.
Wait. So
don't ever assume.
I assume you get the example.
I know, but don't assume.
Example.
That's just me being stupid. Don't assume.
But if you're giving me a point, then
yeah,
I'm
but
gonna go on what you say.
I know, but the point I'm trying to get at, because at the end of the day, we're going to say something. Now, how we're going to say it all depends on those men. Now, I'm not saying those men are going to be like, oh, this and that. But I know men that will go out and be like, oh, where are you beat? I'll be, oh, okay, cool. Or a simple, oh, word? Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. So, or it's a simple,
hey, you fuck.
Oh, okay. And that's it. But like I said, there was definitely a conversation because old buddy really felt some type of way. So now, then you got to figure out what was said for him to feel some type of way.
I don't care.
I know you don't care. But I'm just saying, like,
I agree with that.
And I'm talking about just as men.
It's college, though.
Joe, I know. Look, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But you're dealing with, number one, just a new generation of men. They don't have that mindset that a lot of dudes back in the day had. A lot of niggas are always in their feelings about shit because they're wondering, like, yo, you know, so I really liked her. You know, I ain't really had sex like that. Really, I might have had like one blowjob in my entire life. This chick really threw it on me.
He never had a girl ride him in the
exactly. So what I'm saying, like, that nigga was in his feelings,
bro. You catch
him right,
and it's nothing against that.
How old was he?
Yeah, he's in college.
23, 24.
He's in college. He's a kid.
I was like,
he's a kid.
He's still a kid. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not faulting him for feeling that way. That's what makes it even worse.
Wait.
See, now we're gonna dive into some shit.
Wait, there.
Hold on.
You fucking mama.
Hold on. This is what makes it worse though, because with you being younger than him, he's kind of corroborated that. Like they told that. That's what I'm trying to get at.
I does this.
Cause look, man, look.
She wild.
I've been living on this earth 33 years. I done had a lot of sex in my life, but there's one thing I ain't never done. I ain't never done fell in love or felt some type of way over a chick that somebody that I know them beat. Like, you can't do that. Like, it is what it is. You gotta be like, hey, bro, it was my turn.
Like I said,
that's how you have to look at it. It was my turn.
They probably feel like out of high school and all that kind of stuff. Because in high school, everybody kind of like sensitive about stuff. Maybe now they in college, it's like, oh shit, they still feeling the same type of way until they actually have, and until they have like sex with more women.
I'm about to say, but they stay
saying?
fucking though, so that's.
They did. Maybe they fell in love with you then. I guess that's what happened. Like
that's what I'm trying to get at.
And
that's what I'm saying.
Every
Kill got that effect on people. I guess
every pussy ain't created equal.
Shit.
I mean, the story is Savannah State.
Whoa.
It isn't. I'm just saying. Did I say something wrong? What I'm saying is, here's my point.
I'm trying to read the comments.
Here's my point. In 86.
86.
86. Two women.
I wasn't even born yet.
86.
I'm just telling a story.
We listening.
Two women in Savannah State.
Savannah State.
State.
SSU, shout out.
Georgia.
Tigers.
Every
They make some good macaroni.
once a month.
Shut up, Darren.
Once a month, they would take down the entire dormitory of men.
They would take down?
They would fuck the entire dormitory. That's
oh.
Oh,
I thought you were talking about the school was
and
shutting down the
and,
door.
and they'll be waiting in line. Two women. Once a month.
Wait. So were they getting paid for this? Because that might be prostitution.
I mean, shit.
You
It's legal everywhere else.
ever been in the army?
Prostitution is legal if you marry them too. So
that shit happens.
I know.
How did they get paid?
That's what I'm saying. Hey, listen, if they doing that and not getting paid, what the fuck is wrong with them?
Let a baddie be on the base somewhere.
Bruh,
She will never be hungry. Trust me.
That's what I'm saying. I was making sure they were getting paid.
Oh, yeah.
Why were they doing that and not getting paid?
Hey.
Yes, the whole dorm.
Shout out to them. My vagina is not that equal.
It's crazy. I'm just saying.
My vagina is not that equal.
That shit is crazy.
So that dude, he probably thinks.
It can't take a whole dorm, dog. I know it. Nah, bro.
You know the sad part? I was really about to have a vagina moment. I was about to say some shit. Would say like, "Have you ever tried?" Like I really was about to say that shit. I'm like,
nah, bro.
Take it.
I'd have like after that. I'm like, yeah. And this was the Unfamous Podcast.
Never more than one penis at one time. Never. That's not my thing.
She takes it down one
Look.
by one.
Yeah, to each his own. I ain't knocking them. They yeah.
Okay, I mean that's just like
what's the longest amount of time though?
What?
What's the longest amount of time?
What are you talking about?
What are you talking
Total?
How many hours?
7.
Longest fuck ever.
7.
Hours? Okay.
Yeah.
What?
7.
Bro, why are we talking about this?
Bro, that's longer than
I was
Lord of the Rings.
I wasn't on anything. I don't know what he took. I was done
FS1.
afterwards. I know that.
I was in high.
It was high school.
good.
Everybody be fucking like rabbits in high school. You know what I'm saying?
7 hours.
I'm not fucking.
It was
nobody
Valentine's
for
Day.
7
Oh,
hours.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
too
Like,
long.
I don't care. I got
first
shit
time
to
in a
do.
hotel and shit.
Look, I done been that.
You must have took
Right.
Well, this particular
Without fucking,
gentleman,
you just be
shout out to
wondering.
the high school sweetheart. This particular gentleman, he was always hard, always like even right after ejaculation, like still. So
Okay.
yeah,
Shout out to him.
7 hours out.
Amen.
And was like,
Sure you
you
didn't
coming
take a
back
pill?
tomorrow? And I was like, fuck no.
Nah, I'm good.
Nah, bruh. Give me 2 weeks,
He turned
bruh.
that shit like.
You need 3 days.
Oh shit.
Alright.
I was gonna say an hour, but damn. 7 hours.
That was a long time ago, though. I was like 16, 17. That was a long time ago.
Oh Jesus.
7 hours.
Now, I think more recently, I don't know how long it was, but it was like 5 rounds.
Where they at? Where they people at? Cause I'm beginning.
So,
I was
Them
done.
quick bumpers.
You got to know your cervix though. That's important.
Yes.
I said that just for his face.
What can it take?
Can we please
Sean,
zoom in on Sean's
Sean, what's
face?
the longest cervix you have?
A cervix.
Oh, should I say deepest? My bad. What's the deepest?
Well, it changes based on where you are in your cycle too. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you ovulate, that thing be ready.
So,
You be like, dang, I couldn't do this position yesterday, but look at me now.
99 episodes in.
Commercial or something.
Look at God.
This is what.
Viagra commercial.
99 episodes in, and yeah, this is I gotta look forward to this shit for another 100.
Of course.
Wow.
Oh wow.
100. We about to hit 100.
I don't care what you say. That's funny.
100 is gonna be great.
I hate you.
100 is gonna be great.
I dislike all of you guys.
Oh my god.
Hey man,
He
I'm just
didn't
here
answer
to
the question yet.
spread joy and educate.
I'm
the
not
world.
answering your question,
God.
Joe. Fuck you. Okay? Terrible ass.
And you got to know you woman, you know what I'm saying? You know, you got to know her. If you feel a cervix, calm down. That shit ain't cool when it go to hurting. It's not cool, dog.
Exactly. Feel this.
Yeah, bro.
You dead ass.
Back out a little bit. Calm down. Chill out.
LBH.
Chill out, dog. First of all, goodbye.
Toot that ass up!
People.
Y'all ain't gonna tell.
Alright, I mean,
Y'all ain't
this was interesting. I gotta figure out what the fuck I'm gonna name this shit.
Moral of the story is know your cervix.
I'm not naming it that.
Why?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure somebody.
Can we call it the 48 laws of vagina? Because that's really what everything was wrapped around. Abortions. Like, can we call it the 48 laws of vagina? Please.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
I love it.
I hate that name sounds so fucking good.
It does sound good.
I hate you so much. Damn it, Josh. Why weren't you here?
That was
So I know, right? You would make
I
something
didn't even say
stupid.
nothing else.
Damn it!
LBH, you know, you don't know what a cervix feels like when you hit it, dude?
Oh look, I be.
Oh,
Oh!
shit.
I got something to talk
You
about.
know, dog.
No,
You know.
bye, stop, no,
Say it.
Let me finish. And also, you gotta pay attention to her body because after a while, she'll
Damn.
when you hit it too much, she'll
There are reasons why. Can I answer that for you? Can I answer that for you?
Why do y'all do this shit?
LPH did it.
Fuck y'all. I'm done.
I have a story
I quit.
to tell.
I quit.
I have a story to
This is
tell.
my last episode. I quit.
Gotta make it to 100 G.
I'm not doing 100 episodes. I quit. This is my last episode. I hate y'all motherfuckers.
I have a story to tell.
Hate you. Fuck that. Tell you goddamn story. Shit.
So I was telling somebody, this is years ago,
Motherfuckers.
about the sounds that women make when they suck your dick, right?
What kind of story is this?
And he was like,
What?
I don't know nothing about that sound.
What?
I said, oh. So the old woman was like, I have to be a certain size, right? So my moral of the story is,
True.
Bro, cause I'm trying to dislocate my jaw.
F you never known what it felt like to hit the bottom of the motherfucking coconut patch.
So
I swear that's not alkaline water in this bitch.
Then maybe, perhaps. I'll leave that one in.
Oh my god.
So, I think that's pretty much a good stopping point. For everybody that's been on our live,
Yo, live was lit today.
yeah, it was lit. Thank you for everybody that's been joining in.
Yo.
Really said I'm dead.
So, what we need y'all guys to do, y'all gotta follow us like on Anchor, because I don't know, SoundCloud. I'm pretty much done uploading shit on there. So follow us on Anchor and subscribe and all that other good shit. And please be tuned for our 100th episode next week that I may or may not be on.
Don't be here. Shut
What?
up. Shut up.
You said coconut patch, Lenny.
Shut the fuck fuck up. Oh,
No, I'm just saying he said.
don't repeat what he said.
What he
That
said.
sounds terrible.
The bottom of the coconut patch is the cervix, in case somebody didn't get it.
You want to know why I called that?
Yes.
Yes. I do. I do.
Smash! Who the fuck about to get stabbed? Bitch. Ashley,
shit.
thank you for joining us
You
today. Do you have anything you wanted to talk about?
She want to know why he called it that too.
I want to hear it too.
It's like a stopping point.
Oh my god.
What he lost a vagina. God damn it.
LBH come through, dog.
That's like. What? I'm trying to talk.
My stomach hurts.
Because like the top of coconut has like hairy consistency.
Oh my god.
And then it's soft in the middle, it's gushy.
Oh, you got that milk?
Yeah, it got a milk.
That sweet milk?
I never felt coconut before, but I'm just saying.
Look at that!
You know what I'm saying? And then you fucking it real good. What color it turn? What comes out? White. Coconut milk, baby. Coconut milk.
I love it.
Yeah, this is why I say this.
I ain't coming back for the 100th episode.
Oh shit. This is my retirement episode.
Lenny, see you next time. Don't get fired listening to us at work, dog.
No, he worked for security.
Oh, okay. Word. Whew. All right, guys. I think Sean he's been shocked into silence. So I'll take us out. This has been another episode.
Fuck that,
We got your boy, Mr. NJ Brick City.
God damn it, no, I said myself. I hate y'all.
Oh shit.
Nigga, you need to
Sean. NJ Brick City.
I need 2 bears.
I should have brought more. God damn it. I'm going postal with this shit.
It's your girl, Pearline. Mm-hmm.
Joe Cool.
Ashley.
Bye.
Yeah,
Okay,
Ashley's just
Jay.
over there. Look, she's just over there just like, yeah.
Unreal fiction.
And this was the Unfamous Podcast. Thank you for listening. We'll holler at y'all later, alright? Alright, peace.
That was good.
I hate the fuck out of all of I'm going to edit this tonight. I'm going to have this out by tomorrow.